In this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step instructions on how to replace a broken back cover on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Begin by taking a pentalobe screwdriver and removing the 2 screws either side of the lightning connector on the bottom of the phone. Now you need to apply heat to the edges and around the phone to soften the adhesive that holds down the back cover. I've already had this placed on the hot plate for the last 5-10 minutes. You can achieve the same effect using a heat gun or a hairdryer though. Just go around until it's hot to the touch. My heat gun's set to 200 degrees C. Once the phone's warm, we're going to take a single-sided razor blade and we're going to create a sort of incision in between the edge of the chassis and the glass back cover, and we're sort of trying to get underneath that to pry it away. Trying as well to bring the frame with it. It's got a little metal frame attached, which I'll show a little bit better once we got into the phone. You will find that a lot of the glass will sort of peel away and just fall off, which can be a bit awkward and messy. But once you've got an opening like this, then you can get underneath and you can really start separating the back cover from the phone. And you can see that the chassis or the frame sort of stuck to the back of it. We're just going to be very careful not to scratch the sort of matte titanium edges. If you find that the sort of cracks are a bit awkward or in the way, then you just have to go back with the razor blade again and then the plastic pick just to help separate things. Just be careful when you get to this point because there is a flex cable just there, and then eventually you're going to find that these 3 edges will be released enough so that you can sort of lift it up by wiggling it away and then just open it in it a bit like a book from its back cover. Don't worry about the glass around the edges, we can get that in a minute. For now, we're just going to remove this screw here, which is of course a tri-wing screw. So using your tri-wing screwdriver, remove that, then use tweezers to lift up the little shields, and then your plastic tool will be fine to disconnect that flex cable there, and we can lift away that back cover now. Now I'm going to use a little X-Acto blade to remove the leftover adhesive on the back cover here. So begin just cutting your way around the edges to separate it. Where you can, you want to be pulling it just like that. But a lot of the time you're going to find that it'll snap off, or there'll be glass in the way. There'll be some kind of obstruction always. Carry on working your way around until all the old adhesive is removed, leaving a nice clean chassis behind. Once all the glass and the adhesive is removed, I'm just using a little dust blower to make sure that there's no stray bits of glass what are getting inside the device or around the camera. We have recently been able to get aftermarket options for the back covers. On these aftermarket ones, you have to remove a couple of screws. So you've got a tri-wing screw up at the top, and then you've got 2 crosshead screws just holding the flash into place here and here. Now I'm going to use the tweezers to lift that shield away, and the same again up on this shield here that slots in just there. Look, we're going to flip it over and poke the flash through. Now we're going to use the heat gun to soften all the adhesive holding down these flex cables. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start at the top here, and I'm going to begin lifting just with one part of my tweezers, just very gently sliding it underneath the adhesive until I've got enough so that I can grab it with my thumb, peel it away. Be careful around this bit because we need to take the metal off as well. So just there like that. I'm using that X-Acto blade again to get underneath that, and that will allow us to carry on peeling up the back cover to this point. And then we just need to get the wireless charging coil now. So I'm going to warm up the whole area on here, and the heat just softens any sticky stuff on these back covers, same as when we remove the glass. I'll put the heat gun away now, and what I'm going to try and get underneath here between the glass and the wireless coil, so that I can safely remove it without causing any damage to that important wireless charging coil. If you find that if it's stuck hard, then grab a bit of isopropyl alcohol. It's going to help separate it until you can peel it off. just like that. If you've took any magnets with you, you'll notice on our new piece of glass it has got a new set of magnets, so just remove those and discard those suitably. And then we're going to get our new piece of glass now. Peel off any of these peels, and then we'll place the wireless coil onto here. We'll line it up. I think it's probably best to line up the flash first, just like that. Then the microphone, make sure that's lined up nicely, and then that should allow our wireless charging coil to sit exactly where it needs to, just on the back here, and then stick down. We'll pop this shield back on and secure it into place with the 2 crosshead screws first of all. Then we'll go for this shield up the top, and that's held down by the tri-wing screw. And then this is just about ready to install onto our screen. Apart from these are absolutely awful. These little peels inside the camera, they can be really awkward to get out. There we go. Just sort of flick them with the tweezers. Last but no means least, we've got a dust and moisture resistant seal that we're going to pop onto the back of this one. So always, as always, we'll line it up in the top left first, follow it around, lining it up on that left hand edge, the bottom edge, and then the rest of it should follow suit if you got it right the first time. We'll just slide it over a little bit because it was a little bit skewed. And if you're happy with the alignment, we can peel off the top layer. Make sure that it sits nicely all the way. And then we can offer up the back cover with the flex cable, followed by that little shield here. And finally, the last tri-wing screw that holds that shield down just there. I'll peel off the last of the peel on the dust and moisture resistant seal. That was a great rhyme. Just give it one last blowout, especially around these cameras, because you really don't want dust getting into them. And then we'll re-secure it into place, making sure those clips clip in and it all lines up nicely, before finally getting the 2 pentalobe screws down into the bottom here and securing them into place with our pentalobe screwdriver. That just about completes this repair. Just make sure that it's all secure all the way around and it's sat nice and flush. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.